It's a quiet one today. Out here, get some breakfast, get on some jobs. So it's 10 o'clock, back from the car boot a couple of hours ago, had a bit of breakfast and done a few jobs inside. Didn't pick up much apart from business stuff. Got a lot of business stuff in the end, although it was a quieter one. Did all right. The only thing we bought here for this was, we bought that lovely tray with all the different pots in, and I think it had a label. I think it was only from Aldi or Lidl or something for about £3, but it's new. We got it for £1, so I'm happy if we pay a third or a quarter of whatever the RRP is, because they will come in handy at some point. Wow, look at that, it's beautiful. And these still looking really good into September. Never really had daily as much, but we'll definitely be keeping them and trying them out in the main border, and that is where I'm heading now. So in the main border, as you know, I've worked on lots of the shrubs and trees so that they don't get too big to be unmanageable, because I don't want to have to get somebody in to look after anything, with the exception of the walnut tree, the horse chestnut and the oak with the silver birch right in the corner. But apart from those four, I'm going to look after the whole garden. So this is just getting to a point where if I let that go for another year, it would be hard work to retrieve it and be able to manage it. So we're just going to try and take off maybe 6 foot off there, all the way round, and just make it a more manageable tree. So I can't really do that holding a camera, so you'll see it now, and then in a few seconds you'll see the finished article. Ta-da! Right, that was knackering. Okay, I look like I've massacred it, but I haven't. That is now manageable. It'll bush out, and yet it won't get too tall, and I'll be able to keep on top of that for the next few years. I'm really pleased with that. There was quite a lot of dead in the centre. It was too congested, and I've cut all that out, so there's a lot more air circulating in the sort of middle of the tree now. It obviously been done like that in the past, because look at the size trunk. But yeah, it's not been done for a few years, and now it has been done again. I can just keep on top of it. I'll never have to go as heavy on that as I have just done then. It'll just be a trim back every autumn, and I can keep on top of it. So they've all now, the ones that I'm going to, all been sorted. So yeah, I'm happy about that. Trimmed everything back. We still think we might be getting rid of that conifer eventually, but everything else has been trimmed back. We got rid of the cord line, obviously, a couple of weeks ago. So a lot of the heavy work has now been done. I do need to prune back the apple in spring, but yeah, that won't be such a big job as that has been. So next job is, we've got this polycarbonate glazing. I bought 10 sheets, something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, about 10 sheets of it. I think it was about 50 odd quid. I'm hoping that that will cover an awful lot. Well, I'm hoping that will be years of replacements all bought, and I can store that up in the loft area of the garage. So in the greenhouse, greenhouse number 2, there is the front door has got a panel totally missing. I've just measured it and it's 24 inches by 20. So we're going to go and cut that, try and fit that. I bought some new clips for them as well, so nice and springy rather than brittle, so that should help. We'll get that replaced and then we'll clean up the greenhouse. It's Monday morning. Pretty miserable looking day out there again. It's windy and slight rain in the air. The cows are at the fence. Just had a look at the forecast and this next week is not great. It's very autumnal, very changeable. So yeah, it'll be more of a struggle to get on with certain jobs. But we shall crack on and see what we can do in between the showers. So still really crap weather. I've been and cleaned out the greenhouse and done 1 or 2 other jobs indoors, but yeah, just can't get out in the garden. It's horrible. So when we moved into the house, everything was really nice. It was really well left by the old owners. And the only room that was totally out against everything else in the house was this room. And it has some random sort of graffiti style wallpaper. Obviously the grandkids came to visit and they decided on the decor. So anyway, can't do anything outside, so I'm going to see if I've got some grey paint and see if that goes over it and sticks to it all right, and then I won't have to repaper. Pretty much as expected. First coat is basically an undercoat. It's not really sticking to it. It's got like a sort of shine to it. Yeah. Anyway, it's going to be a pain in the arse, but let's hope that the next coat sticks to it a bit more. Now it's got a sort of matte undercoat on. But this could be a long job, and there's another wall to do as well. Okay, so 4 coats later. We have relatively sane room again, rather than the crazy graffiti artist paper. So yeah, took 4 coats in total, but yeah, I'm pleased with that. We'll put some pictures up. We've got new curtains. There was some horrible curtains there previously, and yeah, this is starting to look like it's the 3rd room. It's the smallest bedroom, but happy with that. Come on, let's go out. Let's go and see what we've got to do today. You coming? Right, so let's go into the greenhouse. I have done bugger all gardening this week. I have literally been out 2 or 3 times for about half an hour at a time. I haven't vlogged it because it's been windy and it would have picked up on the microphone. So the greenhouse, the second greenhouse, has been tidied up. I showed you the putting in that polycarbonate the other day, but it's all had a really good wash out, sweep through, declutter, and I've improved the soil here. So I took out a load of the old deadish, dried up soil full of old roots and stuff. Put some leaf mulch in there and some compost, give it a thorough soak in, and I've actually planted quite a bit of stuff in there. It's more of a test this winter because I've got some old seeds from the allotment from a couple of years ago. I've put a lot of those in. There's beetroot, there's spinach, there's some spring onion which I'm having no success with, so I think those seeds have gone. But I've also put some broad beans in. I've put some peas just for the pea shoots, which should be okay. And I'm not expecting any peas from them, but I can certainly get some pea shoots and use that in salad for the next couple of months. So yeah, that was one of the jobs I did, and the only other job I did was at the other side of the garden. So yeah, this is the first nice day we've had in the last week, really. I did get out in the rain yesterday, and I started to develop the border a bit more. So it finished about there. So all I've done is I've cut it out to incorporate the pampas area, and so eventually all of this will be the main border. That's that apple tree that I planted last week, still looking good. And again, I'm not sure whether that's going to be incorporated or whether that will sit just at the front of the border and it starts to expand from there. But yeah, it was quite easy to dig into this because early on in the summer it just felt like concrete. So we got nearly all the rhubarb out, and I just turned over the soil, the turf, turned it upside down, dug it around a bit. There'll be bits of grass that'll grow, but most of the grass will just rot away now. So happy with that. I've got to do that section, the red hot pokers and the field maple, and then dig around the back there. And I'm going to just do this gradually, so I'm just going to get a little bit more of the grass up every time I've got half an hour out here, and all of this will be incorporated into the main border. And Kirsten's been working on the main border, just getting rid of lots of the rubbish, so it is starting just to sort of, we can see what we've got, decide what we're going to keep. So long way to go, but it's definitely showing signs of improvement. And these two guys have settled in nicely. They've been in the best part of a week now and are looking good. That is from that beech tree which I gave a severe haircut to. We've got a lot of stuff to process. I did have a fire about 5 days ago, got rid of some of the drier stuff, but this was still too damp, so it is drying out, and then I'll chop it up, and yeah, we can get that out of the way. We brought the tomatoes in to the greenhouse. They're just not reddening up at all. We've got about 3 or 4 off them, but we're hoping that in the greenhouse, a few degrees warmer, they'll start to redden up. So this big buddleia, I'm going to do the severe sort of pruning right down to a few feet in the spring, but I need to get that done today. I'm going to cut that to, cut about 1/3 off, and then, as I say, in the spring we'll go a little bit deeper. So yeah, that's the first job of the day. So something has been eating my apples. This is just a windfall. That was a big apple, and it's down to about, well, it's down to the core. So something's took a good big old chunk of that off. I'm assuming, is it rabbits? Any ideas? That was a full apple yesterday. I saw it drop. I was going to go and pick it up, but something's had a good old gnaw at it, and it's definitely not Jack Russell. The buddleia has now had its winter haircut, so we'll go down about another 1/3 in the spring, but that's it, all sorted for winter. So the next job is, Kirsten wants me to pick some apples, so rather than just let them fall onto the ground, I'm going to pick them and use the ones that's got a little bit of damage to it. But basically the ones that are absolutely spot on, we'll just go into the larder, nice cool dark place, and they'll store for quite a while, and then we'll process the other ones. There's a fair few left. A lot have fallen, thanks mainly to the pigeons landing on them, but yeah, we'll get these picked and see how many we've got. We're going to make them into, I think she's doing some apple sauce, and we always use it for apple cakes. The better ones, we use them for apple cakes and apple crumbles. So yeah, there's some beauties there. They're all bramleys. So slightly disappointed with what we've got. There's only really about 5 ones that I wanted to take off, and I thought there was more left on the tree. I have left 2 or 3 on there which are a bit on the small side, but there was a lot less than we thought. There's another 1 or 2 there, but they're again a bit on the small side. Maybe take that one off as well. Let's see if this one's ready. Oh yeah, very much so. That just came off nicely. So yeah, we've got half a dozen, but what's obviously happened, I thought this tree had been looked sort of pruned back last year. It obviously has. So that's all newish growth in this last year at the top there. So I was going to cut that again this year, but I'm not going to, because I think next year we'll get a lot of apples from that. It has been looked after, this tree. It was obviously a lot bigger at one point, and although I'm wary that I don't want it to get too tall so I can't look after it myself easily, I'm going to let that be for next year, because I think that was pruned back either this time last year or very early spring, and that's why there's not so many apples. We have had, I don't know, 100 from it already, but all off the lower branches. There's nothing in that top sort of half of the tree. So I think that will be producing next year. Let's see how it goes. After moaning about the weather all week, well, the last couple of weeks, it is absolutely whoops, I've just kicked the dog. Jenny, why were you near my boots? Come here, come here. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to kick you. I'm not really that cruel, am I? Hey, you okay? We're friends. Right, let's not walk about an inch away from the front of my boots. So, yeah, beautiful, beautiful weather today. Let's hope it stays like this. You all right? Yeah. So yeah, this is what we did the other day in the rain, and I'm gonna now add to it by trying to incorporate that into it. So all I'm doing is cutting the turf basically, and then turning it over and then digging into it, and then you've got reasonable sort of topsoil. So let's improve that, and then we'll go and have a nice cup of tea. Okay, so you can kind of see what I'm doing now. So a nice smooth sort of curve around that, and we're gradually going to take it further and further and further. But for today, I think that's about it. I'm going to go and have a sit down, cup of tea, and edit this video. It's been a bit of a frustrating one because of the weather, but overall we've got some jobs done, and yeah, we move on. So thanks for watching, and thanks for subscribing, and if you haven't subscribed, please do. Sorry, I'm just having a cup of tea and some chocolate hobnobs, so if I've got bits of chocolate hobnob stuck in my teeth, I apologise. Right, I am going to finish off this cup of tea and watch a few videos. What am I watching at the moment? No Dig Norfolk Gardener, who has got a great presenting style. I really like him, he's a good laugh. So I'm very knowledgeable as well. Mrs. W, you watch him, he's good. Right, okay, yeah, cup of tea, finish that off, sit down for an hour, then go and do a bit more, but I won't vlog that because I just need to get on with things. See you next week. If you could subscribe if you haven't, that would be brilliant. And Lincolnshire pickers are virtually at 1,000. Please subscribe to them too. Anyway, give us a thumbs up and a comment if you will. Thank you. See you next week.